The orcs have breached the inner sanctum, Brother Baron.
We must hold. We can't allow the skull to fall into their hands.
No more than a handful of us remain, brother.
Then we have no choice. The miasma must be released.
The miasma? But brother...
We have no alternative. It's the will of Vermina. And what about you, Brother Casimir? Are you prepared to serve the will of Vermina? Then it's decided. Brother Casimir, you must activate the barrier and release the miasma. Let nothing stop you. Brother Thorin, we must remain here and guard this skull with our lives if necessary.
Agreed. To the death.
Then let it be done. Farewell, my brothers. It worked. Mara be praised. You vanished after drinking the torpor and materialized on the other side. I've never seen anything quite like it. How I envy you. I can only imagine the excitement of seeing history through the eyes of another. Sadly, I am resigned to just reading of its wonders through my research of the skull. Indeed. My reverence for Vermina's machinations should not take precedence over our mission. My apologies. The inner sanctum lies ahead. We must reach the skull and put an end to Dawnstar's troubles. Lead on, my friend. Come, we must get to the skull and destroy it. By her benevolence, you shall not stop us!
someone there.
Wait. Baron, Oric, you're alive. No thanks to you, Casimir. I no longer use that name. I'm Miranda, priest of Mara. You're a traitor. You left us to die and then ran before the miasma took you.
No, I was scared. I wasn't ready to sleep. Enough of your lies!
I can't allow you to destroy the skull, priest of Mara.
Then you leave me no choice. Never should have come here.
I knew Varen and Thoric. They were my friends. Is this punishment for my past? Is it Mara's will to torment me so? Yes, you're right. If they needed to die so that Dawnstar could live, then it was worth the price. It's time. The skull must be destroyed. If you'll stand back, I'll perform the ritual granted to me by Lady Mara. First, an incantation. Move the barrier. I call upon you, Lady Mara. The skull hungers. It yearns for memories and leaves nightmares in its wake. Grant me the power to break through this barrier and to send the skull to the depths of oblivion.
He's deceiving you. When the ritual's complete, the skull will be free, and then Arender will turn on you. Quickly, kill him now. Kill him and claim the skull for your own. Vermina commands you.
This better be good.
Forgive me if I don't appear relieved. This temple has taken its toll on me. In time, I believe I will. I'd constructed a meager shrine tomorrow in the antechamber where we entered. My intention was to spend the rest of my years here, burying the past and praying for forgiveness. But instead, I wish to offer my services to you. If you ever wish to journey with me, I'll be here. There's no need to thank me. What you did was for the people of Dawnstar. If anyone should be thanked, it should be you. And what might you need, Safe travels. Yeah.
Mine. You're a fool. No.
Oh, you need to do better than this.
Are you hungry? I could make a meal for you if you like. Of course, I have a homemade meal for you. And a strawberry pie as well. Do you want anything else?
Did you ever wonder
If you
there's
have
a Dova
ingredients
deer
I can
or
cook.
A Dova cow? Who says dragon blood must be limited to people?
That should work fine. Just a second. Now let me see. Here you are. So, where are we going now?
Now where did I put those quest files? Yay! Chit-chat time! Which means no more walking time. Good talk, team.
They're dead. My pa was a sailor. Took me with him on his last trip. After he got sick, they put us off here and left without us. He died a few days later. I've tried to make do since then, but it's been hard. Real hard. Really? Do you have a place I can live? Oh, wow. Are you sure? You really wouldn't mind? Really? You mean it? Wow, thanks, Pa. I promise I won't be any trouble at all. I'm so tired.
Wouldn't it be nice to just talk a little, you and I?
Did I file all the combat records yet? Better double check. Of course. What did you want to talk about? Dawnstar. The name sounds so poetic and beautiful. The dawn signals a new day, of promised warmth, while star, well, something bright and filling one with hope. And yet, here we stand in the middle of a freezing ice-covered wasteland, and forget about being filled with hope. I don't think my frozen insides can be filled with anything right now. Not even sweet rolls. Wow, I cannot believe I just said that. Good talk, team.
It's so nice to just talk a little, you and I. I was just thinking, would you be interested if I told you a little about myself? In Candlehearth Hall, I met an elderly mage on her way to the college of Winterhold. The poor lady was injured. She had been attacked by wolves. Her wounds healed, but she was afraid to continue her journey alone. So, although my original plan was to travel southwards, I offered to accompany her. We arrived in Winterhold on a snowy afternoon. As I was in company with a mage, I was allowed to enter the college. What a place it is! I've never been much of a spellcaster, but a nice Breton mage, Colette Marens, was kind enough to give me a lesson in healing spells. I think I learned quite a lot from her, actually. Yes, you must surely have seen that for yourself by now. The college library is quite impressive, don't you think so too? So many books. But the librarian seems a bit grumpy. And quite rude too. He actually called me an illiterate idiot, although he isn't that knowledgeable either. Believe it or not, but he said he had never even heard of ABC for barbarians. And that book is such a source of vital knowledge. You look thirsty. Would you like something to drink? Of course.
I'm no one special, just a miner who swings a pickaxe for his drinking money. Got any ale or mead?
What do you want, honey?
I'll be here, my dear.
Careful! I almost dropped all the files.
I tell you, the Dragonborn comes with a voice-wielding power of the ancient Nord.
I'm sorry. My mind was just somewhere else. Do you need a room? Drink?
It's an end to the evil
All right, then.
of all Skyrim's foes. Beware, beware, the Dragonborn comes. For the darkness has passed, and the legend yet grows. You'll know the Dragonborns come.
lovely sun, the beautiful blue skies. How long will we have this peaceful home?
Wind Peak Inn is always so noisy. That bar they have there, Carita. She yelled so she could wake up the dead.
Looking to hire a boat? Where you headed? Climb on in the boat and get comfortable.
Come see me in the marketplace tomorrow. You won't find better prices in all of Eastmarch. It was difficult at first. The Nords of this city are at best suspicious of outsiders. But in time, I made the right friends and proved myself useful enough that they don't give me trouble anymore. The Dark Elves are too proud and naive to understand the way things truly are, and so they continue to dwell in that slum. Just got here from the Somerset Isles. Lots of opportunity in Skyrim. Until next time.
I'm glad that the people that are working here at least have the forge to break some warmth. Could you imagine spending your days outdoors in Windhelm?
Hold it there. Keep your distance. Another girl killed. This is Susanna, from Candlehearth Hall. Served me a drink just a few nights ago, but I can't say I knew her. Susanna's the third. It's always the same. Young girl killed at night, body torn up. We're stretched thin as it is with the war. Nobody has the time to spend on this. Not pleasant, but it's the truth. If you want to help, ask some of these gawkers if they saw anything useful. I'm going to examine the body before the rats can get to it.
Always sad when someone has to die. Sorry, I thought I saw a fellow running away, but didn't get a good look at him.
Another one. Terrible. Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. I heard a scream and came running, but she was already... like this when I got here.
This is a shame. No, sorry. But I did notice that her coin purse was still intact, so whoever did this wasn't after gold. I'm going to keep preparing the body, if you'll excuse me.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something in the old fort near Riften. Might consider joining up myself. I've got no problem with orcs, but that stronghold they've got in the southeast. Narzulbur? It's an affront to my people. Just like always. Nobody saw anything useful. The bastards escaped again. Look, friend. If you think you can do better than the Legion of Guards, be my guest. You'll need to talk to the steward, though. You can't just let anyone go around claiming to be on official business.
Fire sounds really good.
If he's willing, then we'll talk.
What would you have me do?
I took a stroll through
If
the
he's
docks
not
the
with
other
us,
night.
he's against
The ground
us.
was littered with dried scales. Did you know these Argonians shed their skin every few days? It's like walking in the pile of dead slaughterfish.
I did not know that. Disgusting. Not more disgusting than what passes as Dunmer
He knows that.
You
They
heard of
all
a creature
know
called
that.
Llama. How long are you going to wait?
I don't ever want to
I need to
pass
send a
over
giant
again.
a message.
Apparently, if by message you mean shelling a sword through his gullet. I never heard them mention this.
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think?
Sure,
So we're ready to start this war in
That's
earnest
just what we
then.
need.
Soon.
More vermin in Windhelm.
I still say you should take them all out like you did that King Torrik.
Torrik was merely a message to the other Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our armies.
We're ready when you
Things hinge on White.
Adelesia Vendici of the East Empire Company is quite a bit tougher than she looks. Oh.
And let them die with their false kings.
We've been soldiers a long time. We know the price of freedom. But people are still weighing things.
What can I do for you?
What's left of Skyrim to wager?
They have families.
Yes, my treasure. What is it?
Daughters follow your banner. We are their families.
Come, I haven't got all day.
Tell me, Dalmar, why do you fight for me?
I'd follow you into the depths of oblivion. You know that.
Yes, but why do you fight? If not for me, what then?
I'll die before elves dictate the fates of men. Are we not one in this?
By the gods, it's true, isn't it? A dragon has attacked Whiterun. How could mere men bring down such a beast? Grew up here. Cold as Atmore. But that just grows the beard sticker. Lot of history in these walls. We're trying to make some more. It's a lucky time to be alive. For Ulfric? Well, nothing official. Known him for years. He seems to value my thoughts, and I'm grateful for that. I don't really have a mind for war, and I think he likes having an untrained opinion from time to time. These are difficult times indeed, when men stalk their brethren like beasts. My men are stretched thin as it is. If you offer your aid, I gladly accept. The guards will be told to assist you as necessary. I'm happy to lend a hand as much as I can as well.
Aye. But in the meantime, we have a war to plan.
It's a giant slimy maggot. Apparently the grayskin. Flesh and delicacy. I ever heard them mention this grayskin trade. Morrowind, gonna bring some of these creatures. Yeah. Come on in. Just stoke the fire. Send someone over so you can get the cold out.
I have a few choice cards available for the right price.
Too many Dark Elves in Windhelm complain about the way we're treated. What good does complaining do?
And what do you suggest we do?
Need another drink?
Do you know what?
Take a good look around.
Maybe you can
I'm
help
sure
me.
you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. I might have it stored away. All my goods are legitimate, which is more than I can say for some. Of course nothing in here is stolen. Only a careless, shameful, idiotic fetcher would do something as stupid as to buy pilfered goods. Oh, by Azura, I've made a terrible mistake. I bought a gold ring, and Viola Giordano has been missing a ring that looks just like it. It's not that easy. She'd go to the Jarl if she knew I was even remotely involved. You have to get it to her some other way. Look, it's dangerous. But if you sneak the ring into her house, put it in a dresser or something, I will make it worth your while. Excellent. I think you'll be glad that you made this decision. Thank you. I'll be sure to put it to good use. Of course. I've scraped this collection together by whatever means I could. I do some business with the trade caravans, and I've picked up a number of items from adventurers like yourself. A few intrepid souls even brought some items back from Morvenskar, the fort southwest of the city. Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures. Good luck on your travels.
I think we should help Raven Sadi to return the gold ring to Viola. Guess I'm just being silly.
Hey, you mix potions, right? Can you brew me an ale? All right, then. I noticed a trail of blood leading away from here. Helgerd's taken the body into the Hall of the Dead to prepare for burial. She's a little crazy, but if she knows anything, it's dead bodies.
Large diagonal cut from left shoulder. Well, she's dead, but I guess that's not unusual, at least not for somebody in here. I mean, someone who's not me, that is. Sorry, was only joking with you. Not really. The only unusual thing is the shape of the cuts. They look like they were made with... Well, the ancient Nords used these kinds of curved blades when they embalmed their dead. I don't know who in Windhelm would even have something like that. Other than me, of course. I'm too busy tending to the dead to spend my time making more of them. And I wouldn't very well tell you about the cuts if I had made them, now would I? Now, I really got to get back to the body. Lot of work to prepare her for the grave.
That's the grayskin and lizard men who told the dead here. But we should just cremate them, so they don't take up space reserved for the Nords.
Another quiet day, I hope. Next time.
Did you use my good hammer?
No.
Last girl, I told you to leave my tools alone. You have yours, and I have mine.
I didn't touch it.
Hammers don't have legs.
Did you look behind the forge? I think I saw it.
Has Elda told you the story about how the candle hearth forge got its name? If not, maybe you should ask her about it.
Speaking with you is not in my schematics. Okay, do you shall? Reluctantly, I shall. apologize. I do not serve as a pack mule. That's employees to...
Where does the trash of Skyrim go? Better
Yes?
yet, where are the bats?
Everything you see is grown at my family's own Hollyfrost farm, fresh and filling. I also do a little herb growing. The court wizard, Woundfirth, pays us to plant a little nightshade. Who knows what he uses it for? Hey, could you deliver this bottle of nightshade extract to Woundfirth? Thanks. There's an old saying that only a Nord can work the soil in Skyrim. I don't think anyone else would have the patience for it. It takes half a day just to dig a planting row in the cold, stony earth here. But what else can we do? Eat rocks and ice? See for yourself. Good day to you.
You need anything, come see me. I'm as resourceful as I am discreet.
Wherever I can find them. If you're the type who worries over where something came from, you may want to move on. I'm a dark elf and I live in Windhelm, so yes, I live in the Grey Quarter. You must be new around here, or you'd know they don't let my kind live anywhere outside that slum. Take a look. Be sure to stop by Sadri's used wares in the Grey Quarter.
I don't haggle. If you want a lower price, look elsewhere. Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing. Thank you for your custom.
Working in Windhelm is great. I get to see Ulfric up close. Every Nord should admire Ulfric. He fights for all of us. In fact, he's the reason I chose to learn the smithing trade. I want to make weapons and armor for the great Stormcloak army. Smithing isn't the most exciting thing for me, but we all have to lend a hand as best we can. If a Stormcloak uses one of my swords to strike down an Imperial soldier, then I've done my part to free our land. A word of advice, don't buy discounted armor.
Cookware, knives, and other goods for the home, all at reasonable.
Everyone says Yorland Greymane is the best smith in Skyrim. I plan to change a few minds about that. Every bit as sharp as what you'll find in Whiterun. I respect Yorland, but he has the good fortune to work the Skyforge. Something about the fires. Their steel just holds tighter. If that makes any sense. I don't see these troubles as business. This is a labor of honor. To bring Ulfric his rightful glory, I would hammer 1,000 shields. Shore's bones. I might just have to. Of course you want to invest in my business. I'm the finest blacksmith in all Skyrim. If you have spare weapons and armor to sell, bring them here. Take a look. Anytime, friend.
Finally, somewhere not dark, where we won't be attacked by monsters or bandits, and a great source for sweet rolls.
Take home Windhelm's finest and freshest produce today.
I lost my twin sister a while back. Have you ever lost anyone
Poor
close?
Nilsine has been wrecked since her sister was killed.
I've been a bit out of sorts since our daughter was taken from us.
That makes sense. Kind of a messy
I'm sorry. She was very dear to me, and it's rather painful to think about. I'd rather not talk about my daughter, if you'll excuse me. Well, all right. What exactly do you need to know? Yerim? Well, I'm not sure what you think you'll find there, but you're welcome to have a look.
Yes, Sarah?
I was one of the best soldiers in the Stormcloak army, until I took a sword to the chest. Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. Good day.
Please, leave me be. I don't want any trouble. Thank you. But if you have questions, I'm afraid I won't be of much help. I know, but I don't know much about the city. I'm new here, like you. Not long. I haven't found a place yet since we left Morrowind. They have beds at Candlehearth Hall, but the people aren't very friendly. But Ambrose lets me stay at the Corner Club. There aren't any beds, but I don't sleep much anyway. My family, they're gone. I'm sorry. It's just, it hurts to talk about it. Thank you. Zelda's used to tell me the same, but for different reasons. I was always so angry with him. He was my brother, my fraternal twin. But the only thing we shared was our birthday. He was brash. He never listened. When we were children, he'd use illusion spells to steal sweets from the cupboard. When the elders forbade destruction magic, he would rush me to the neighbor's yard and set fire to the chickens. The elders blamed me. I was the responsible one. They said I was supposed to stop him, that it was my fault. They were right. No, it's all my fault. I was supposed to look after him. I was the mature one. We had just crossed the border to Refugees' Rest. Father read the decree. Mother placed mountain flowers by the shallow grave markers. Only Feldas didn't care about graves and monuments. It was already an hour past midnight. He shouldn't have gone on ahead. He was so excited. We heard him calling through the darkness. He could see the lights from the dock, and if you squinted, you could almost see the outline of the palace. Father chased after him. Mother and I, we followed. We passed Hollyfrost Farm just as Felda started to cross the river. He hopped on a large ice floe by the bank. I thought he'd slip. Mother hollered at Feldus to be careful. He just stamped his feet. Then, it all happened so fast. The floe, it didn't crack. It didn't even make a sound. It just came straight through the ice like a ghost. It was a hand. When Feldus hit the floor, the ice broke. He fell in, and Father went in after. Mother was screaming, and I just froze. We were standing on the embankment when more of them, they came right out of the snow. I felt a hand. It was cold, so cold, and I fainted. They say my blood turned hot as fire, but all I remember was the frigidness of that hand. I woke up inside the temple. Jorah was whispering a prayer. I felt so strange, so weak. Lortham said a Nord named Brunwulf saved me when the guards did nothing, by himself. I was the only one he could save. The priest put a gold towel to my brow, and I looked up at the great statue of Talos. It almost felt like he was sneering at me. He was telling me it was my fault, my burden. I'm sorry. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Horses. All day long. Do you have any idea how dull horses are?
We're used to getting by on scraps, but the Shatter Shields want everything for nothing. Torbjorn Shatter Shield. I wish someone would beat the coin out of his fat fists. He clings to every septim. He says an Argonian's labor is only worth a tenth of a proper Nord worker. My people are not slaves. You can try, but we've gotten nowhere talking to him ourselves. You've already learned all I can teach you. I came here as a hatchling. The only thing colder than Skyrim is the Nords themselves, but we stick together. We work where we can get work. The Nords don't like unloading their ships, so we do it instead. Sometimes cargo goes missing. May the earth beneath your feet be always soft.
Never much cared for Windhelm. The place is depressing.
I'm a sailor on the North Wind. We're laying over in Windhelm for a while.
I trust you're not planning any trouble. What can I do for you, friend? The Nords don't appreciate us, but so what? I don't appreciate them right back.
Windhelm has been hard on my people, but our fortunes will turn and we have shelter and food. We have not fared well outside our native Black Marsh, but we're determined to make the best of things. I began praying to Zenithar, the god of wealth, to bring us some fortune, but thieves made off with my sacred amulet almost as soon as I bought it. Shavi would be in your debt, kind one. Oh yes, after all, what's the point in being miserable all the time? I know life on the docks isn't easy. Sometimes life puts you in difficult circumstances you didn't choose. But being happy or unhappy is a choice you make. And I've chosen to make the best of things that I can. I enjoyed our talk.
Well, greetings, traveler. How's the weather outside today? Wonderful, I imagine. So true. I was once a pessimist myself. Never thought there was anything but danger outside the swamps of Black Marsh. But my son, he lived his life by the code of the Wanderer. Now I too have succumbed to the wanderlust that is my namesake. Now I amble across Tamriel, so that I may get lost, and in doing so, discover all the wonders I never found. He is, but only in spirit. My son passed away 10 years ago, wandering around Tamriel. Whenever he left, he always kept a letter on his person, so that if he died, perhaps some kind and gentle soul would deliver the letter to me. He was a gallant Argonian, with horns that were as statuesque as a castle, and scales as brilliant as a gemstone. Oh, I'm sure mothers say that about their children regardless. The clan girls adored him too. Yet for all his stature and bravery, I feared for his safety. Whenever he left on one of his adventures, I implored him to visit the library in Thorn so that he could borrow one of the travel guides on the Empire. He would pat me on the shoulder and laugh. It was a voice so full of energy that it shook my tail. But a pat so gentle could have been a child's. And that's what he'd always be to me. A child. My child. I would worry that without the guide, he'd wander off to some place dangerous or get lost in the wilderness. But I realize now, it wasn't where he was going that bothered me. I just didn't want him to go. Oh, I tried. I lashed my tail and I stomped my feet. When that didn't work, I nearly took his horns off with a kitchen knife. I'd already lost his father to the swamps, and I would not lose my son. I told him there's a reason we settle in towns and villages, and why travelers always stick to the road. He told me those people went from place to place, but they never traveled. At the time, I didn't understand what he meant. In truth, it took him dying before I could. Somehow, I think he knew that, which is why he waited until he was gone to tell me what I needed to hear. I was a cynic and a pessimist. But most of all, I was a coward. I would wipe the counters clean 4 times a day and overcook the food because I feared the meat had parasites. I slept with a candle burning and never left my hut at night and dared not brave the rain. I made oceans out of ponds and mountains out of anthills. I was afraid to live because I was scared to die. I let the fear consume me because I didn't want to ever again feel the pain of being left behind. I lost my husband to the Great War. It was so long ago, I forget which side he was on. As if that makes a difference. War makes widows of us all. I once only thought of my own grief, but now I hold dear the time we shared together. I still remember the worry on his face when our son was hatched. He was so beautiful. Yeah, I think I had to give him a bit of wine to calm him down. As in, 3 flagons. That night, I think he sloughed off more scales than there are coins in the Emperor's treasury. Whenever we open our eyes and see something, it takes a fraction of a second to register in our minds and understand what we're seeing. That's our destiny as mortals. To always look at the past. To always be a fraction of a second behind. They say hounds, on the other hand, can smell things leagues away. They know when a visitor is coming, or if fresh game lies hidden behind the brush. Hounds are always looking at the future. My son was very much the same. While I could think only of the past, he knew this day would come, so he never worried about whether he left on good terms or bad. He knew that we'd find common ground in the end. It's difficult to choose, considering how much there is to love. I love trekking through the Pale, lapping my tail against beds of fresh snow. I love scaling the mountains of the Reach and looking down on the rivers and fords that give life to Lorcan's bones. I made the pilgrimage up the 7,000 steps and watched the sun as it drifted into sea, glazing the sky in layers of magma. I traversed through the fall forest and watched the opera of leaves as they were led across the stage by the autumn wind. And when I look upon it all, I feel nothing but warmth, even when people insist it's so cold. Skyrim was the one place my son had never been, which makes it all the more magical that we can see it together. It would likely be too much of a burden, given how old and frail I am, but I appreciate the concern. Besides, if you were a bandit clan, who would you consider a more appealing target? A sweet old farmer, or a single soldier dressed in iron? Yeah, it'd be quite difficult to take me to the local fence. No, the bandits don't bother me. Some even say hello. Even the wolves tend to be kind to me. They must not like the taste of stale Argonian jerky. May you lose your way and find adventure.
By the hist, if I don't get something soon, I don't know how I'll get through the week. No, I'm not. I feel like my scales are clawing into me. Maybe you could help an old Argonian out? I heard some of the sailors talking about how they stashed a bottle of double-distilled skooma in the Nissus Corner Club. I just need a taste. Thank you. I'll be waiting for that bottle. I would not complain if you returned with some skooma.
What? Looking at me like that?
Is someone there? Of course.
Oh, sorry.
Good to see you. Of course. Thank you, thank you! Azura's prophecy always guides you to fortune. Speaking of fortune, here. Everything I earned from my last shipment. It's yours. Until later, then. Hello, friend.
Great, another city covered in snow. And it's purely made of stone. Why not just call this city my living oblivion? Did I file all the combat records yet? Better double check. All right, team huddle. All right, we'll talk later then.
What's all the commotion?
Too many Dark Elves in Windhelm complain about the way we're treated. What good does complaining do?
And what do you suggest we do?
Need another drink?
You stink. Such trivial demands.
That look. He said a man waits his entire life to see that look from a beautiful lady. I wish I knew what he was talking about, so I'd know never to do it again. Not at all, stranger. I was just caught in a memory, and when that happens,
Well,
I have a
seen better
tendency to
places
speak
than
out
this,
loud.
But I guess
That's why the
it's all right
Nords
for a quick
say I'm
meal
of
or a
questionable
bottle of beer.
mind, when all they used to question were my morals. A lover, a stranger, a mistake. He saw the way I looked
I wonder
at
if
him
this place is more crowded
and
at
thought I was in
lunchtime.
love. Perhaps I was, but only until the day he left. It was the day Ulfric had left for solitude, not to plead for war, but to
It's good
make
for
it.
the Windhelm elves to have
I knew
someone
then
to
my
meet,
lover's
but,
fate was sealed.
I
He
wouldn't
would
call
join
this
the
place very
Stormcloak
close.
army and depart for a camp the following morning. We said our goodbyes, and I never gave him a second look.
Finally, a warm fire.
I was standing at the docks when his ship pulled in. His name was Balrund. He was a noble's son. His shoulders were dressed in the finest furs, and a golden amulet hung from his neck, the center set with a stone as blue as a summer day. Very much so. In fact, When I saw him, I dropped my basket of flowers. I was so embarrassed when I scrambled to pick them up. All that was left was a
This place
single
may not be very
dragon's tongue.
posh, but at least the
I was
floors
about
are
to reach
very
for it
well
when a
swept.
hand plucked it off the ground. Yes, he placed the flower in my dress and told me, "A flower this beautiful belongs in no basket." Strange feelings swelled within me. Anticipation, anxiety, as if the world had shrunk into a single person, and yet it never felt so vast. I never even noticed it was an amulet of Mara around his neck.
What was that?
Too many Dark Elves in Windhelm complain about the way we're treated. What good does complaining do?
And what do you suggest we do?
Thank you.
Need another
I'm
drink?
not so
You are
cynical
so
that I can't
quiet.
appreciate your
I hope
gesture
you're
of
not mad at
kindness.
me or something.
It didn't take long for me to discover the amulet of Mara was meant for another. He said it was nothing more than a business arrangement, a wedding made to
There's
unite
someone
two
watching
clans
me.
who had long been
I
at
can
odds.
tell.
That only made it worse. The only thing I could. I set out to do two things that night. Put down a bottle of ale and put him out of my mind. I had all but succeeded when he walked into the corner club. I tried my best to ignore him, but the fool kept at it. I told him it would end in tears. He said he would never make me cry.
I really hate necromancers.
I did,
They
but
shut
only
people
because
up.
I was in love. And love makes a mockery of wisdom. We alter our lives, our futures, and the fate of those around us, all to chase that single
They say
fraction of a
brawl fights
moment
only create
when
chaos and
everything
disturbance for the place.
is beautiful.
I say it builds character. Plus, everyone's always applauding you. Strange as it is.
Have you read any
No,
books
they're
lately?
not. Those moments are poison. Just look at me. Still in love with a ghost. The fool went and got himself slayed not a week after the war began. I never even got a letter.
Windhelm could need more people like Brunwolf Freewinter. People
Yet
who
you'll
stand
find
up
more
for the
than your
elves and
fair
their
share
bones.
of tales of sorrow, sadness, and melancholy. That is something we Dunmer can relate to. That is something every foolish, mad, and hopeless romantic can relate to. Yes, Skyrim is a cold land, and its people hewn from ice and stone. Some may see the surface and the edges, and mistake it for a lack of passion. Yet in the end, Nord or Dunmer, Altmer or Orc, we are all mortals. We laugh,
I have seen
we
one of those
love,
before, and I
and
don't
we
think I'll
cry.
never see one again.
Behind the icy veneer, in the privacy of our bedrooms, and in our most intimate of thoughts, we all turn to those emotions that are timeless.
Maybe we could head over to the Candlehearth Hall and listen to the bard's music.
Yes, the land
many Dark
itself
Elves in
is
Windhelm
filled
complain
with
about the way
hidden
we're
wonders.
What good does complaining
For every desolate
what do you
tundra,
suggest we do?
there are clear lakes and hidden grottos
Need
as
another drink?
lush and vibrant as the Ascadian Isles.
I wonder if I'm about to catch a cold.
No, just thinking about those days with Balrond at the Corner Club, and how they made me feel young again. Young love seems so trivial, but feels more
A soaring
essential than
dragon
anything
is a
important
magnificent
ever
sight,
could.
of course. But when there's
Belin,
so many of them,
don't
they
be
do start to
absurd.
become a nuisance.
Belin is my cousin. Our ancestors were once members of the great house Hlalu. Well, our crest was adorned with a scale to represent the balance achieved by negotiation and compromise. House Hlalu prided itself on the use of diplomacy as opposed to warfare. They were loyal to the Empire for centuries, even before the Great War. Perhaps that bloodline is what makes me oppose Ulfric's rebellion, while at the same time makes excuses for him regarding the Grey Quarter.
My favorite book is ABC for Barbarians. It's such a source of vital knowledge.
Belin is a good farmer and a good Dunmer. Many find it surprising to see a Nord woman under his employ, but not if you know Belin. While I preach working together and compromise with the Nords, Belin backs up his words with action. Seeing those two till the fields and harvest crops speaks louder than anything I could ever say. Well, I do think he works Adisla a little too hard, especially given her age. I tried to help, but I'm dreadful at harvesting. Belin won't let me anywhere near his wheat after I damaged nearly half his crop. It's not my fault the fool never showed me how. I have always opposed war because it is senseless and inefficient. Balrun's death did nothing to change that belief. The war has altered Ulfric's priorities. He won't listen to our pleas until things settle down. Even then, it would be a mistake to appeal to his chivalry. We must convince him of our value to the city's economy. If we present it to him not as an act of charity, but an investment, we have a better chance of making our case heard. We have experience farming in tough climates. Our knowledge of magic can provide valuable training for the Guard.
Together, aren't we?
Moreover, improving the city will attract wealthier citizens and more tax revenue. And you don't have to like Dark Elves to spend their coin. Very well. Until next time.
I'm glad that the people of Whiterun seem to appreciate Alam's work at the temple, as her husband Nassim hardly seems to appreciate her at all.
To receive the blessing of Talos, you have only to pray at the altar. The Empire's elven puppet masters never cared much for the idea of a human becoming a divine, so the worship of Talos is outlawed. Skyrim doesn't take kindly to being told what to do, and to try and forget Talos, well, they may as well ordered us all to cut off our ears. Like anyone, a crisis will push them towards devotion. I've been seeing a lot of the Shatter Shields since they lost their daughter. Hilevi Cruelseat comes in a lot, but I haven't seen her husband here in years. Ulfric prays for strength. I speak to Captain Lonelygale, but he doesn't spend much time here. Too busy. Talos, who in life was known as Tiber Septim, united Tamriel and founded the Empire. He was rewarded for his deeds by being joined with the Divines in eternal glory, the only mortal to do so. We worship him that we might follow in his path. We can't literally join him in the heavens, but we may do our best to know them here on Nirn. Blessings of Talos be upon you.
I've spent my life serving Talos. I don't plan to stop now, no matter what the Empire says.
Hmm?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Poor Nilsine has been wrecked since her sister was killed. Got any ale or mead? Of course. It's all in the swing. Let me show you. Well, my friend, if you think those boots need more coin, I'll make it happen. But I'm doing this for you, not them. Yes, yes. Now, to find myself a drink. Good to see you. It's all in the swing. Let me show you. Good day.
This is a huge place. A bit masculine, though. Don't you think it would benefit from a more female touch? Carpets, curtains.
I own Hollifrost Farm outside the city. It's honest work, if a bit dull.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the House of Curiosities. I offer a brief tour for a few coins, or you can simply browse at your leisure. Indeed, I did. For a few septims, I'll tell you about some of the most interesting curiosities in my collection. Splendid! If you'll just follow me, I'll tell you tales and show you wonders such as you've never seen. These tools were found in a crypt outside Windhelm. They belonged to the ancient Nords who dwelt in Skyrim before the days of the First Empire. Most scholars believe that the Nords of old used these implements to prepare their dead for burial. What macabre mysteries would these tools reveal if they could but speak? Here is the Book of Fate, discovered in a secret room in the Arcane University. The writing in the book describes the destiny of its reader, so the words change from one person to the next. Some see only blank pages, and nobody knows why. Perhaps some of us are born with no destiny, or maybe the blank pages signify an imminent death. Ah, now here's an item out of legend. This is Ysgramor's soup spoon. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is no spoon, it's a fork. Nobody can eat soup with a fork. Well, my friend, you did not know Ysgramor. Don't let this innocent-looking flute fool you, for this is the dancer's pipe. Legend holds that the dancer's pipe has won wars, toppled empires, and changed the very course of history. None know its origins, but the stories say that men who hear its music are compelled to dance uncontrollably, no matter the peril. To activate this strange power, one must only speak the magic words, which are... Oh my, I very nearly got us both into a nasty predicament, didn't I? And with that, the tour is over. I thank you for your patronage, and I hope to see you again soon. My sister and I inherited a modest sum of money. We decided to travel and seek out whatever adventures we could find. As we journeyed across Tamriel, we encountered tales of exotic and wondrous artifacts. We decided to collect as many as we could. My sister passed away some years ago, so I settled down here and opened the House of Curiosities. I think she would be happy to know that our collection has brought smiles to faces both young and old. Let me see. Oh, yes. This is the Wheelstone. It's an heirloom symbol of the power of Windhelm. Traditionally, it's carried by the court mage. I would be interested in acquiring it, if you're willing to part with it, that is. For a piece like that, I could pay 500 gold. Wunferth? Bah, it's purely ceremonial, and he has no use for it. Besides, I wouldn't want to be the one to give it to him. Gives me the creeps. They say he dabbles in necromancy. Suit yourself. It's only of value to collectors, though. Good luck finding anyone else who will appraise it that highly. A most pleasant chat. Until the next.
What makes this smell?
Feast your eyes on my strange and wondrous collection of curiosities.
Welcome. Let
I'll
me know
be
if
here,
you
my
want
dear.
anything. I think I've got a clean mug around here. Somewhere.
Travelers, what would you like to hear?
Well, I was thinking maybe some high elf dirge, perhaps. These are rather trying.
Stop wasting my time.
Oh, I'm sorry I said anything then.
This one's a favorite of mine. A legend we all know and love. And as a Nord, it fills me with pride. I tell you, the Dragonborn comes. Believe, the Dragonborn comes.
I'm a writer by trade. Not that the people of Skyrim do much reading. I write drama, friend. The legends and history of Skyrim made to excite and inspire. Poor Gerard Germain at the Bard's College has been waiting for my latest work, Olaf and the Dragon, for weeks now. Roads are a mess. You're sure? When you see Gerard, ask for a tip. I'm sure he'll be in a good mood after reading this. May you lose yourself in the pages of a good book. Yeah.
Did you ever wonder if there's a Dova deer or a Dova cow? Who says dragon blood must be limited to people?
I'm glad that the people that are working here at least have a forge that brings some warmth. Could you imagine spending your days outdoors in Windhelm? I used to feel so lonely, but since I met you, that has changed completely.
Always a pleasure to speak with you, Dragonborn. Really? And here I thought you can actually lift. Just kidding. Here, I'll help you out. Sure. See you soon.
You're not supposed to be in here.
He's a true lord.
Whatever you've heard I can do is probably true. Ah, yes, the extract. Good. Poisonous, of course, but it has its uses. I suppose you want something for your trouble? Here. Excellent. I think you'll be glad that you made this decision. Thank you. I'll be sure to put it to good use. I had you figured for a mage. I think you'll appreciate this. Stay safe.
I apologize. I have not been programmed to speak with loud people who shout all the time.
Dragonborn, Dragonborn, does whatever a dragon can.
Reluctantly, I shall. to.
Let them die with their false kings. We've been soldiers a long time.
Give us a straight answer.
He's a true Norn. He'll come around.
Don't be so
Any luck finding the butcher?
Oh, have you been talking to Viola Giordano? She posts us all over the city, and someone keeps taking them down. Ask her about it if you want an earful. I've never seen anything like it. I would take this to Calixto at the House of Curiosities. He has a good eye for strange trinkets. Might even give you a bit of gold for it. Travel safe. It's dangerous out there.
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think?
You're not supposed to be in here.
Watch yourself, Breton.
I think our Batterbone would be very happy if the feud between her family and the Greymans would come to an end.